Prue, I want to ask you about this whole cancel culture. There was an interesting editorial in The Australian today. It said this cancer culture is a misnomer because nothing's ever truly cancelled. They say you can't cancel films, TV, historical figures, etc. And it says, it goes on in the editorial, the war on humour is not a joke. It's just another front line in the campaign against open minds and dissent. It's not going away.
No, it isn't. You know, taking offence is almost like the new black worn by these snowflake fashionistas. It's just so pathetic that, you know, they have this power. You know, they're weak individuals who are normally these keyboard warriors who wouldn't have the guts to get out there and state their point of view, and they conform with the group think, and it's really quite sad that we're going this way. You know, I've been attacked for having my views. You can't, you know, they seek to shut free speech down. People with a counter view to them, they don't like. And the fact that we have companies now like Nestle, for God's sake, Nestle, the company that sells more sugar to kids than perhaps any other company, you know, I find that the hypocrisy is astounding that Nestle is going to change some of the brands, Chico's and what's the other one? Red, whatever it is, I don't even know. It's so, I wouldn't eat this stuff.
Redskins, yeah.
Redskins.
Yeah, Redskins and Chico's, that's right.
You know,
yes, Stephen, what's your view on that?
Look, let me give you a slightly different example. My volleyball club was founded by a German Austrian who came to Australia in the 50s, and he was very prominent in the volleyball community in Australia. And there was awards named after him, and he founded my club. And it turned out when all the records were unearthed, he was a Nazi. And the foundation, the awards, I mean, suddenly, what do? You have a Nazi on your hands that you've honoured with this award. So I've lived the experience of trying to work through that debate when it came to dealing with a Nazi. Now, I think there are better ways to deal with this cancel culture than is being seen around the world. I think in Perth there was a very, very good example of the way to try and deal with it. The Indigenous community were invited to put a plaque on a statue in Perth that spelt out their concerns or their story, and I think that reinforced the strength of history. I don't think it was a bad thing. They had a ceremony. I think it was done very, very well. And I would encourage people to look at that example as a way forward here, rather than try and pretend things didn't happen or say, well, that person is all bad because of that aspect when they were part of building Australia. So I think there is a model that was supported by the Indigenous communities in Perth, and I think people should have a good look at that one.
And look, I think on Nazis we're pretty cut and dry. There is a line there that you just don't cross. But, you know, rather than take away statues, I'm thinking of Churchill's and Gandhi's here, even Teddy Roosevelt, you add statues to the public domain. Exactly. You don't remove statues of history. I've got to leave it there. They're in my ear. Prue MacSween, Stephen Conroy, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Peter.